Hey everybody, Bones here, Bones Garage, just bringing you an update what's going on at the garage. So, 1960 Ford F100, we have made more progress. Well, most people would think that we're not making progress because we're taking stuff apart, but we are making progress. So, we have the plenum off of the car, the motor. And the first thing I noticed when my guy called me over and he said, you got to take a look at this, was this is all silicone. This is sealant. That is a big no. You don't do this. You don't put that's what gaskets are for. Gaskets are made to take up any imperfections. Silicone is not made to do that. And they put a lot of it. You see how it's squishing out from in between? So this is actually getting into the cylinders. Then another thing they did was they tried to port match this manifold to the upper plenum. They really did a horrible job. I mean, if you look here, if you're port matching to a straight line down. They just angled this, and it's a really bad job. And they didn't do all of the cylinders. Like this one, they went too far on this side here. So, yeah, they really, somebody didn't exactly know what they were doing. It still will work. Everything will still work fine, but yeah, they could have done a little bit better job. It's just the way it is. And it was running extremely rich. Extremely rich. So we must have had some kind of intake leak somewhere, or something was going on. We're going to have to figure all that out. Another thing they had, if we go in the back of the truck, they had a spacer between the manifold and the plenum. And this is the spacer. Now these are great when you're racing and all kinds of stuff. They're actually even good for street driving. But we really didn't need this spacer. It's a phenomic spacer, so it really does take away a lot of heat that would get into your plenum. But do we really need it for the street? No. And the problem we have with this is what was causing the plenum to hit the windshield wiper motor. And it was also bringing the plenum up further and hitting the power booster for the brakes. So we're going to fix all that by getting rid of that. And then if you look here, that is where the windshield wiper motor was hitting the plenum. And if we would leave it like that, it will actually wear a hole right through the aluminum plenum, which is no good. They also they used wire ties as clamps. This is what you're supposed to be using to hold the rubber boot to the mass airflow sensor housing. And they were using wire ties. Now, I got to give them credit. They got these wire ties pretty damn tight. And if it's a temporary fix because you had a hose clamp that actually broke like that, different story. I understand you use them, get away with it, get home, but at some point you have to change that. So that I didn't like. And then if we pick this up and we look on this side of the plenum, they never got the silicone boot completely over that. See right here? This is basically wide open into the intake, and it's beyond the mass airflow sensor housing. So this is taking in extra air and really screwing up the computer because the O2 sensors are seeing way more air than the mass airflow sensor is seeing coming by it.